Paperwork, having to do paperwork. Yes, a ton of paperwork we have to do. I'm a paperwork guy. I haven't always been, when I was starting out, working in the office is something you kind of want to do when you get a little bit older. When you're young, you want to get out there, get your hands dirty. I've worked in construction. Like I said, I've been in the military. I worked in outdoors. I worked in the field. I work in I did some underwater work too for a little bit. I worked in a desert. I worked in a mountain one time in fucking freezing cold temperature. I worked in many different places that was very physical, and I didn't really like it. Honestly, like it wears you out. Some people love it. I really don't. It really wears you out. So that's kind of why eventually, once I started getting my skills up and I started looking for a better position that I like more, and I got into real estate. And I liked real estate because I could be out in the field, seeing and getting hands on. Then eventually I got good and I started being in the office more because I had to, respond to emails and do paperwork more. And then after that, I got into property management. And then pretty much I've been in the office ever since. So, I mostly do paperwork. I mostly file, organize, shred, staple, write, erase, type, press a button, stamp this, fold this, send this, post this. So it's mostly paperwork. Um, there's a specific way to do it, but yeah, when you're working with papers, there's like there's some no-brainer things that you have to do. I'd say ideally when you're working with paperwork is you're kind of like a little bit more delicate with things. The paperwork, the stapler, the shredder, the printer, all that shit is like your tools. Okay, so you have like a maintenance guy and he's got his tape measure and the fucking hammer and a saw and a ruler and the GFI tester. All those are his tools. These are things that he needs to do his job. Well, you have tools too. You have the paper, you have the pen, you have the shredder, you have the stapler, you have the marker. All those are tools that you use, the computer. So you have to learn how to use these tools, and it's also how you do them. Some people, like when they do maintenance and repair stuff, they leave their shit all over the place. And some people, they lay out their tools nicely and they do the work, they put the tool back, and it's all very organized. So it's just the quality of work, and you want to have a quality of work. So you want to have your place organized. And I know it's hard. I know it's fucking hard, but because believe me, I'm not organized. I'll take that back. I may not appear to be organized, but I know where every fucking thing is. Okay, but I may not appear to be organized. But you want to appear to be organized too, and you want to have your office clean and everything put away so that when it's kind of like making your bed. Every single morning when you get out of bed, you should make your bed. Why you do that? Because when you get back to bed at night, you'll get to a bed that's made. So then you'll know you could start again the next day. But if you show up all tired and shit and your bed looks like shit, like who want to sleep in that, So make your bed. And it's the same thing as organizing your office. Organize your office every single day so that when you come back to work the next day, your office is nicely organized. All your tools are where they need to be. The paper is where it needs to be. The fucking printer is printing. The computer is computing. And the pen is writing. So organization. There's also there's wax. So you guys. I don't know if you guys skated when you're growing up, but I was a skater growing up, and we use what is called sex wax. And sex wax is this. It's some wax that you wax. You can wax your board, but you kind of wax the curve. This. If you're walking by a curb and you see that it's got like this like discoloration on it, it's probably wax, and you just wax the shit out of the curb like that, and then that's how you can jump and slide and do like a slide on the curb. Um, so so they have the same thing for the office workers too. We have this wax that you put on your hands and you'll be able to pick up papers more easily because papers, they stick together. It's fucking annoying sometimes. Like you're trying to get the fucking paper out and it won't come apart because it's stuck together because of the fucking static electricity. But if you have this wax, seamless, you'll be able to move papers quickly. And then if you run out, you just rub more on it too. Carry some lotion too. You want to have lotion in your office. You're working with your hands, so you don't want to have some fucking nasty, gross hands with dead skin and your nails not pedicured and fucking nails all overgrown and dirt underneath them and dirty ass hands because you're working with your hands, when you're working in the office. If you don't have nice hands, some people don't. If you don't have nice hands, just wear some freaking gloves. Okay, that's perfectly acceptable. A lot of office workers wear gloves when they work, and a lot of this paper is fucking dirty anyway, so you'll be cleaner anyways. So, but yeah, carry some lotion so you can lotion your hands so they don't look like shit. Filing. So when you file papers, sometimes you'll want to shove things into the file so that it all fits, so it's organized. Don't do that, because if you shove things in the file, you won't be able to get it out. That's the first thing. The second thing is, if you are able to get it out, the papers, it may not seem like much to you, but papers can get shoved up in your finger. The fucking knife edge of that paper, if you get the angle just right, or the manila folder, that cardboard, if you get it just right, it'll peel the skin off of your fingers like this when you're shoving your hands in there. Okay, because you're constantly shoving your hands in there trying to pull out a file, and you're peeling off your skin, and then you're gonna get blood all over everything. So don't file away things too tightly that you can't get them out. Organize things. Try to get another file cabinet if you have to. Keep your papers organized. Your stapler, you should always have extra staple things in case you need to staple some more. Have paper clips, regular clips, jumbo clips, the big ones, have those in case you're organizing a lot of papers. Learn how to organize too. They have a long strip with numbers on them, and you can put papers in each of those flaps, and that'll help you get organized. You should be able to take these huge stacks of papers and get them all finally organized quickly. It's all about being efficient, but if you can get them all organized quickly, then you'll be able to file them away quickly, because it takes too long having to go back and forth. But if you can organize and subcategorize things, then you'll be able to be more efficient with that. So that's one thing you want to, go for. Try to do that. Filing papers. Learn the paper. So paper size is 8.5 by 11. That's the standard paper size. They also have 8.5 by 17, which is the legal size. Those are the two, and then they have all other in between papers, but mostly those are the two papers you use. Use blue ink. Always use blue ink when writing on papers. That's like the legal thing. Learn how to use a scanner. Learn how to use a copier. Learn the copier tricks. Sometimes a paper is front and back. That doesn't mean that you need to freaking scan it front and back. Just photocopy the whole packet that's front and back one way, and then you'll put that in the middle, and you'll have a whole one-way thing. Or just press the button on that says the two-sided to one-sided, and then you can scan it all in like that. Some people can scan two-sided, mine can't. But you'll learn all these tricks that have to do with paper. Take care of the paper, learn the paper, order more paper. Paper runs out, so you got to order more paper. The shredder, you got to shred paper. Sometimes the shredder overheats. Don't stick your hand in the shredder. Don't use a tie when you're using the shredder, because you're going to get stuck in the shredder. Recycle, don't forget to recycle. Yeah, you're working with paper, you're doing paperwork, so you got to learn all the tricks, and don't turn in some nasty crumpled up paper. All your paper should be like nicely, neatly organized. It's a skill. Eventually you'll get good at it. I hated it when I was growing up. I hated school, but eventually you'll get good, and you'll learn how the paper folds, and you'll learn how to catch paper too when it falls. It's choom 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 quickly, basically. So yeah, that's filing and paperwork that we do. You got it.